Hey everyone, welcome back to Catching Up with the Walkers. Thank you so much for stopping by to give us a little checkup on Cassie. We got to check with her to see what was up. You guys saw the thumbnail. That was not a fun day by any means. Cassie was rushed to the emergency room by me because she got to school and said that she needed to go to the emergency room. And when Cassie says she needs to go to the emergency room, she's not kidding because she's never said that to me before.
Well, but I still think you were like, oh, she needs to go to the emergency room. I felt like there wasn't much urgency.
I drove 5 miles over the speed limit the entire way.
And then I kind of freaked him out in the emergency room, and I think he now sees why I was like, I got to get to the emergency room.
Yeah, so let's catch up a little bit before this emergency room visit. We'll try to keep you guys up to date on what's been going on with Cassie. Let's go back to about a week ago, before school started. Cassie was spending a lot of extra time outdoors, mowing, weed eating. She had me over there power washing.
I spent a whole day, just me at the school, mowing, weed eating, power washing. I was there for 4 to 6 hours, but I had a big old thing of water. I was going slow. A lot of it was in the shade. I feel like riding on a lawnmower isn't like...
It's not that strenuous.
Yeah. But I was really sweating because I was over there in the heat of the day. Usually I do stuff early morning, late evenings, but that's how it worked out. But I bought one of those Bubba insulated things, at least this big. I drank like 2 or more of them. Had snacks, all the things. But I felt like I wasn't overdoing it. I was going slow and drinking water. But then another day, Gary and I went back.
Yep, the next day.
But he did more of the power washing and the weed eating, and I did more of just riding on the lawnmower. And
then the next day, was it while you were in teachers' meetings that day? Whenever...
No, a day in between. Saturday and then Sunday I didn't do anything, and then...
But the first time that you went to the urgent care, not the emergency room.
Yeah.
That was on that Friday, right?
No, it was on Monday.
Oh, it was on Monday. All right,
You and I went to the school on Saturday.
Oh yeah, that was on Monday. So you just went to urgent care because she was having the symptoms that we talked about on Walker Farm Fam.
Monday morning is when professional development started, and I was setting in meetings. No big deal. I do it every year for the past however many years. Speaker was really good. I wasn't anxious or worried or anything, and just felt this weirdness come over me. I had woken up at 3:30 that morning. If you guys follow me on Instagram and Facebook, I posted at like 4:30. Anybody else up folding laundry because they can't sleep? So I did wake up, couldn't sleep. That's not like me, but usually I just lay in bed till I fall back asleep, but I couldn't lay in bed. I needed to get up and move around. Ate cereal at 6 o'clock. Gary came in the kitchen and was like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I've been in here since 3:30. I'm eating cereal." So drank coffee. I also drank a bottle of water because I did feel a little bit weird. I drank a bottle of water after my coffee. Went on with my day. When I got to the meetings, they had breakfast foods and fruit. Ate some fruit, got a muffin. No big deal. 45 minutes later, feeling pretty weird. I have passed out before. It's been a very long time ago, but it was due to heat and not eating properly. And since then, I've had weird feelings. And usually if I drink water, eat a snack, I'm good to go. But that didn't work. So I looked at the girl next to me that teaches with me, and I said, "I think I'm gonna pass out." And there was some candy on the table. I ate 2 little candy bars. She went and got me like a 14-ounce cup of orange juice because I could tell more, so I was wondering if it was my blood sugar. I've never had blood sugar problems, but I knew like this was definitely not okay. And my cousin is a diabetic. She got it from the other side of the family, but I know when she would do that, we would give her like M&Ms or something, and she'd drink orange juice. So anyway, still wasn't coming out of it. Everyone was pretty worried about me. I went to the next room because I did not want to interrupt the speaker or cause a big scene. And some of the teachers came and checked on me, and I had already texted Gary and said, something's not right. I need to go somewhere.
And at this point, I was at work and in a meeting, and so she said that she had somebody that was going to take her to urgent care to get checked out, to check her sugar and see what was going on, see if they could tell anything. Just off the bat, I had the C word test. I think, can you say that now?
No, I didn't take a test that day.
Oh, you didn't take it that day? That was later on.
Yeah.
But they
did my blood work.
They did blood work.
Did vitals. They had me lay down, take my vitals, set up, take my vitals, stand up, take my vitals. And that showed that I was dehydrated. They had me, use a cup and
all kinds
the bathroom. They said based on that, I wasn't that dehydrated, but I told them, like, I've been drinking water, so they think my body was trying to catch up. But then they also did my blood sugar, and did I tell you it was like 95? Which they said if I ate those 2 candy bars and drank that big cup of orange juice, that it should have been a lot higher than 95. So they were wondering what my blood sugar was before I ate and drank that. But as I got there, that day it wasn't like trouble breathing. I would everything was, like, I don't know if I've ever passed out, but everything starts kind of going like this and darkening. My heart felt like it would race, but I really wasn't having trouble breathing. That day I would take deep breaths to try to calm not that I wasn't calm, but like just telling myself, like, don't pass out. You're okay. Just breathe. And so eventually while I was there, I felt okay. I still had a headache and felt weird. And they sent me on my way, told me to follow up with my doctor.
So that was episode number 1. And that's what we already updated you guys about over on YouTube on our Walker Farm Fam channel. But now what we're telling you about is the next part that we haven't got to yet. And this is the more scary part to me because I was involved and I was there.
Well, there was a part in between. I followed up with my primary care doctor on Wednesday. The fasting blood work, asked me 1,000 questions, tested me, 10 in this nostril, 10 in this nostril, was negative. And then she said it'll take a couple days for the results. I told her I was drinking liquid IV. She said that's great. Keep drinking it, especially if it's from dehydration. Told me to eat well, which I don't eat great. I eat on the run a lot. I snack a lot in between. But anyway, sent me on my way that day.
Yeah, did the in-depth blood test.
Yes.
So.
And then the next day, headed to the first day of school. But when I woke up, I kept telling Gary, I just don't feel right. Something doesn't feel right. But a lot of times in the morning, until I eat breakfast and drink water and get going, sometimes I just don't feel right. And so I'm kind of wondering, like, have I always had kind of a sugar problem and I didn't know, or what's going on? But I left for school. I got about, it takes 22 minutes to get to school, I think. I got about 3 miles from the school and I could feel it coming on. So I texted Gary and I said, meet me at the school. I need to go somewhere. I'm getting sick again. And it just kept getting worse. And I'm like only 3 miles from the school. So I'm like, Lord, please just help me make it there. I'm looking around, no snacks. Cassie always has snacks. And I take our cousin to school and I said, do you have any sugar in your, with you? And she looked at me like,
You want to borrow a cup of sugar, Cassie?
No. Or I said, do you have anything with sugar in it? And I said, I just feel weird. And then the kids heard me and they knew that I hadn't been feeling very good. So then they were like, what's wrong, Mama? I was like, I'm fine. I just need something to eat. And she's like, I have a fruit roll up. Our school doesn't have
pure sugar.
Yeah, our school doesn't have a cafeteria, so we have to pack our own lunches. My lunch was in the very back of the car, which I didn't really have like snacks in there. I had brought a good lunch. I'd brought chicken breast, sweet potatoes, and stuff like that. So anyway, I was like, I hate to take your fruit roll-up that you brought for lunch, but I think I need it. So I ate that, pull in the parking lot, get parked, text my friends, and I said, someone please come out and get the kids. I'm getting sick again. Gary's on his way, but I don't want the kids in the car to worry them. So they got the kids. Another coworker grabbed a mom out of the pickup line that is a nurse. Hadn't ever met her before. Was an awesome way of meeting someone. I don't remember her name, but I remember her face.
If you're gonna break the ice with somebody, hey, I need a nurse over here.
So yeah, when I do this, I get real emotional and start like crying. So that day my arms felt like they weighed 100 pounds. They gave me like a granola bar. Lindy Moorhead over at Moorhead Homestead brought me out something from her lunch as well. I owe her like a strawberry pastry roll-up thing. And they brought me a granola bar, but it was like I couldn't even like lift my arms to eat. I started breathing really fast and like having to catch my breath. Still the things in the head. One of the parents there is a doctor, so when I saw him in the line, I was like, hey, grab him. He also goes to our church. I've known him for a long time, and he's like, because I thought, you know, the new parent might think that I'm an emotional person who talks like I'm drunk all the time. So I was like, can you go get him? So he comes over there knowing like this is not like me. Plus at back to school night, I told him what happened before. But he's like, how about you get in my car and we go to the emergency room? I was like, Gary's on his way. A little bit longer as I'm like,
this is a doctor. He's like, I don't want to deal with this.
He's like, you know, I know you said Gary's on his way, but how about you get in my car? So I get my phone and I'm like, and I get on Life 360 because we have that, and it said Gary was 2 minutes away. So he's like, okay, we'll wait on him then.
And I was driving 5 miles over the speed limit.
So Gary gets there, takes me to the emergency room.
Yeah, so I get there, and Cassie is very disoriented. I was expecting her to walk over to my truck just real quick, jump in, and like, all right, off we go.
Like, when someone says they need to go to the emergency room, they're not going to be like, hey, what's up, you ready? Like
that's what I was expecting, though.
But Gary's never, like, that you've never been in that situation.
Well, not with you. I mean, I didn't expect you to be like that. But Cassie, nevertheless, was able to walk around to the passenger side of the van with some help. She wasn't able to. She said her legs were very heavy and couldn't hardly function.
But the drop-off line to school was in full swing, and there was people everywhere. So I was trying to pretend like nothing was wrong.
Well, I'd hate to see what it was like if it was wide empty out there, because it probably would have been chaos or a scene. But
Gary's like asking me 7,000 questions, and do you remember I was like, slow down. Like,
yeah, I asked her
to talk. I had to breathe and really think about it, and I could only say so many words at once, and then it felt like I couldn't breathe any longer. And I told him, I was like, you're gonna have to slow down. Not driving, but talking to me and give me a chance to answer. He was like, okay, we'll go to Tulsa. I was like,
I was trying to gauge. Okay, here's the thing. I was trying to gauge kind of how quick we needed to get there. Not because of anything to do with Cassie, but the emergency room in Pryor is very small.
Yeah.
And with my past experiences, sometimes you sit there for an hour.
Well, sometimes you sit there forever, and
before you even go back.
Our past experience, they transfer you to Tulsa.
Yeah, so my thought was, if I can drive 30 minutes to a really, really good emergency room that I know of that I would go to really quickly, then there was already going to be a lot more care there, more specialists and that type of thing to evaluate and give better care. But Cassie, I could tell very clearly, very quickly that.
What did I tell you?
It was like, I need it now. Like,
I think I said,
I need a doctor.
I don't have that long.
Yeah,
Gary.
I don't have that long. I think she was seeing the pearly gates or something, and she was trying to turn back. No, you weren't that far gone. But she was in a bad. We can laugh about it now, but she was in a bad situation.
If they're gonna transfer me to Tulsa anyway, I'd rather be in an ambulance than in a car with you. you didn't have any medical equipment.
I'm good. But so I took her to the emergency room, and
of course the lady checking me in was like, "Hi, can I help you?"
This is the pace that I was expecting when we went to that emergency room. It was the take a number, you'll be number 16 on the list.
But luckily no one was like in it. But she sees everything. She doesn't get excited. So I'm like, clearly lady, just get me to the back.
Well,
and she's like, can I get your date of birth? Can I get, and I'm like, I remember just laying against the thing and Gary's holding my hand.
Cassie said, it's in my wallet, and like opened up the wrong zipper. And I said, I know which one it's in. So I got the emergency or the insurance card and driver's license. I said, here's your information. I said, can she get back as soon as possible, please? And I was very nice. I'm not.
You didn't lose it at that point.
I didn't lose it at any point. And
I remember a look on his face.
I gave her a look, maybe. Okay, so Cassie started at this point. And this was the scariest part of the whole time to me, is she started, her head went back and her eyes just kind of looked like she wasn't like quite there. And she started shaking. And I have seen an old friend of ours that used to do the sound at church. He would do seizures, and he would seize up, and I was sitting close to him, so I would jank the chair out of the way, cradle his head, put his head down on the floor, and keep him steady to where he wouldn't hurt himself. And that's exactly what I was prepared to do for Cassie. So I thought she was about ready to go into a seizure. And so I told the lady, can we get someone now, please?
Which I am a very observant person. Even in that moment, I had seen her when I started doing that. Also, I couldn't breathe, which my mom has always told me, if you're talking, Cassie, you can breathe. Like when I was little and I would say, I can't breathe. She'd be like, if you're talking, you can breathe. So I was telling myself that, Cassie, if you can talk, you can breathe. But I remember looking at her right in the eyes and saying, I can't breathe. And when I did that, I think Gary was probably looking at me, but she grabbed the phone. She put her head down. She talked very quietly about 5 words and hung up. So I knew she had called someone, and Gary's like, can you get someone now?
I didn't. I said, please.
She goes, I just called somebody.
I said, thank you. So I was nice.
I said, Gary's holding my hand, and I go, calm down. As I'm the one shaking.
So I was very nice. In my mind, I was nice. So
you were. It was a very scary moment.
We got moved back there. Somebody came out immediately.
And she's like, can you walk back here? I'm like, sure, let me walk back there.
We grab her and drag her back. So we dragged Cassie back to the emergency room. They started running all the tests. The doctor immediately came in, talked to us, talked to her.
You also know that you're old when former students and volleyball players and basketball players are working in the ER.
One specific nurse that used to be a volleyball player, I remember Cassie specifically making her run one time. And I told Cassie, wouldn't it be ironic if she was the one to give you the IV and just was like a little bit like, rough, and Cassie's like,
I figured I'd have a bruise and I don't.
Could you be gentle? And she's like, this is as gentle as I get, just like in coaching. You weren't super gentle. So they ran an EKG. They tested.
I tested my sugar like every 30 minutes, like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, they tested her sugar
one time
constantly.
Or it was like 90 something when I got there. It went up to like 120. It went down to 80, but it came back up, and that was without me eating or drinking. So.
And then
did blood work,
thyroid.
Yeah. Did
blood work to get instant feedback then. And then the other doctor ended up doing in-depth blood work that did.
Well, yeah. We were there for 3 or 4 hours. They released me, told me to let my doctor know, follow up with my doctor. Gary called and let them know, and then she called me about 30, 45 minutes later after a Walgreens trip that Gary can tell you about.
Yeah.
And she told me, I told her what happened. I said, so I guess we just need to know about your blood work. She said, well, I actually got it. And I was like, because she just sat there. I was like, oh no, she's going to tell me something bad. She goes, and it's all completely normal. And I was like, relieved but frustrated at the same time, because she was doing the like A1C where it goes back to 3 months. So if my blood sugar's been doing something crazy, it should have showed up. I mean, I didn't want that to be it, but I was hoping that at least somebody would say, here's your problem.
Yeah.
She told me to take another test, so I did, swapping the boogers again, negative, because she said everyone's reacting differently, and that could just be how my body's reacting if I was already dehydrated and things like that. So I'm a mystery.
So Cassie's a mystery, but we did rule out heart with the EKG. They ruled out thyroid. They ruled out anything that could be seen on the in-depth blood test, the regular short-term blood test. They ruled out that she's not pregnant, no babies.
I've had 2 people message me and ask.
And so they ruled out a lot of things, so that's good. The bad news is we still don't know exactly why, but she's going to monitor her sugar. She has I had to go to Walgreens. Okay, guys, I feel so bad for you guys that have to monitor your sugar. And the first time you had to go buy the supplies.
They probably got it actually from the doctor. But
so I walked in there and I bought the thing that reads the thing, right? And I know if you're gonna have the thing that reads, you gotta have the little test strip. So I walked in and I bought the thing and the test strips. I walked back out.
And he's looking at it.
And I thought they would have the finger pricking thing in there. Okay?
Well, so I'm still not feeling real good, but by this time I've had my blood sugar checked 8 to 10 times last week. So I kind of knew all the things you should probably have. And I was like, where's the thing to prick my finger? And he's like, I'm sure it's in there. But he's looking.
It's a box.
And I was like, no, I don't see anything to prick my finger. And he's like, don't you have some needles at home?
I have no idea how this works.
I was like, I'm not jabbing myself with just a sewing needle.
So here's in my mind how this works. Let me just tell you how in my mind how this works. Like, you got a needle, because I've dug out a lot of of things.
Take the wheel.
I've dug out a lot of things out of my finger. So you take a needle, you poke it, and then you put some blood on the little test strip. And you test it.
I said, no, I need the thing to poke my finger. I don't even know what it's called, but I need it.
So I went back into Walgreens. I bought the thing to poke your finger. I thought, okay.
So he comes back out. I said, it's clearly a clear package with one thing, nothing else with it. And I think he thought you just use the same needle every time, and it would just be one needle that I jab myself every time. So I was like, Gary, where's the needles to put in this to poke my finger? And he's like, I am not going back in there. Wait, no. First I said, before I was able to look at it, so he hands it to me, and I said, or no, I call you as you're walking out. And I said, hey, I forgot, I want those glucose tablets because one of you guys told me about them. And I said, if this happens again, I'd like to be able to take one of those instead of trying to find all the carbs and sugar in the car. So he walks back in to buy those, and that's when I realized there's no needle.
Okay, that was trip number 3 to get the glucose.
So he comes back out and he has the glucose, and then I'm like, Gary, where's the needles? And he's like, they're not in it. I was like, no.
Oh, wait. Oh, and all this time, I needed to go to the bathroom. And guess what? Walgreens ain't got no bathroom.
They always have. Was it out of order?
I couldn't see it. I didn't find no bathroom.
You didn't ask?
There was no door for a bathroom, no sign.
To the left of the diabetic stuff you were at is the bathroom.
Okay, well,
I've used it a million times.
I did not see a bathroom.
I thought you meant it was closed down.
So
I said that he needed to use the bathroom, so we go to use the bathroom. And
we go to use the bathroom, and guess whose bathrooms are closed? Come and Go. The bathrooms are closed for cleaning. So then we went across the street to McDonald's, and they finally had a bathroom that I could use.
This is funny, and we're telling it in detail, so one day we can watch it back and remember. And also, you guys have 8,000 questions, which is fine, but hopefully we're answering them. So anyway, we get back to Walgreens, and he goes, I'm not going back inside there.
At this point, Cassie was feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I was feeling good.
And I thought...
And he also said, you have a knife and a needle at home. And I was like, I am not using that. That is like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So we go back to Walgreens. He refuses to get
No, I didn't refuse. I said, do you want to go in and get the things? If not, I will. She said, yes, I'll go get them.
So
she knew how I felt, though.
Yeah, I saw a parent from the school, and I gave her the rundown, and she told me that she's done the same thing, and hers was to do with her sugar and stuff, but she's found out, she's not a diabetic, but she found out if she eats several meals a day, when she feels it coming on, certain things, and it has taken care of it. And hers happened when she was pregnant. And they asked me that, but you guys have to remember, I've only given birth one time when I was much younger. And so, you know, if I was to, you know, have it, if Mazzy or Ransom would have been biological, my body would have done something like that. What's it called? Like
gestational diabetes?
Yeah. So anyway, her and I chat, and then I go back there, and there's like, I see why he's confused. There's like, it said diabetic something, and then there was like a bazillion things you could choose from.
I need a kit. I need a kit that has everything you need in it, and that's what I need.
I grab a person that works there, and I'm like, my husband bought this. I need the things to go in it. I said, is this it? She goes, you know, I'm not real sure. Let me go ask the pharmacist. So she went and asked the pharmacist. I now have checked my blood sugar several times. My heart goes out to y'all that has to do that because I'm so tired of pricking my fingers.
I think we covered everything that you guys needed to hear as far as what went on with Cassie, and now you're up to date about why she was in the ER, and now mainly all she needs is prayer.
Yes.
Still don't know exactly what's going on, but prayers that God will heal her, whatever it is. We know that He is able and will, and we just ask that you pray along with us to keep His hand over her and let her get back to school, because it's time.
I missed the first day and the second day of school, so I'm ready to get back in there. Thankfully, we have a new parent who has subbed for me, and I've heard she's done an amazing job. I talked to the wife of my childhood best friend, and the crazy thing is he has done exactly what I'm doing just a year or whatever ago, and did all the tests, thought all the things, and it came down to dehydration and stress. So I'm like, maybe there is something there. So if that's what it is, I'm happy with that, and maybe I won't ever do it again because I'm hydrated now. I don't feel like I'm stressed, but you guys know I always do a million things, and it's never caught up with me before this. So, but
a lady of your age,
that's what the urgent care doctor told me. A lady of my age, new things can start happening. So I'm going to follow up Monday. His wife told me some things that they checked. His ketones. I don't know what that is. I Googled it, but it has to do with diabetes. He's not diabetic, but those were way out of whack. They were too high, and he was dehydrated, and it caused his body to do exactly what I'm doing. And it took a while, but he came out of that. So if that's what it is, fine. I just never want to have those episodes again because it's truly scary, and I don't want to have them when I'm by myself or just with the kids, because it's just really scary, isn't it, Gary? It's
scary, but the good thing is, I mean, we have these cell phones, and we can reach out to people. And the good news is Cassie has been feeling much better the last couple of days, right?
Yeah. And the good news is I know people all over the place, so no matter where I'm at, I can probably text someone and say, hey, come help me.
Yeah, she's always felt it coming on, so that's not a big, huge concern. We're always a close distance, and we have a tracker location, so we know what's going on and where each other's at. As far as prayer requests go, again, please be praying for Cassie and the kids as they go off to school, but also remember our friend Josh over at Bodart Kiko's. He is back at home now, and just continue to be praying for him, though, as he may begin treatments and different things in the near future.
Yeah, he and his wife did an update video, so go over there to Bodart Kiko, and you can hear about that. And he's giving away some hats at 10K and a goat at 15K.
Yeah.
And they have a goat sale coming up, so go check that out.
Yeah, if you guys would, we appreciate you going over and subscribing. I'll leave a link to their channel right now and help them get along to 15K. So thank you guys so much for following along, getting updated on Cassie and everything that happened with her. It was a long story. We can laugh about it now. We do take it serious, guys. You probably would have seen the circus that went on, though, whenever we get...
If you don't laugh about it, you cry.
Put into that situation.
I don't want to cry, so...
Yeah. So we hope that you have a great day. God bless, and we'll see you next time.
Love you guys.